Swami Sharnam. After a hiatus of, I think, several days or at least say 1.5 months, I'm coming back to the discussion of the Hindu and the Businessline editorial analysis. Today, starting with the Businessline, we have the analysis of global tech giants reporting of the quarterly results. And the quarterly results of the global tech giants like Microsoft has dwindling, and they have just planned for the next quarter as they will reduce the kind of expenditures expected. So job losses are also expected. But Indian tech giants are performing very well, and Indians tech giants would very well do well to retain the talented workers. That is the only aim which Businessline is suggesting the Indian tech giants to do. And the next analysis, the article is related to how the Reserve Bank of India is reducing or shedding the flap after the post-COVID scenario of the economy, Indian economy. The Reserve Bank of India was the only bank which had adopted an accommodative approach during the COVID times. It had just maintained the flow of money into the economy, while the European Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, all these banks had resorted to releasing more and more money into the economy, which had inflated their balance sheets. But Indian Reserve Bank of India, what it has done is that it has reduced the money supply into the economy, but allowed the Indian government to borrow. Then the Reserve Bank of India's balance sheet had raised by leaps and bounds, and the asset and liabilities had reached a very high level, which is coming down now. And when the inflation is now, the Reserve Bank of India's target was to reduce the inflation to such a level that it comes below the fixed inflation targeting level of 6%. Now we have the recent November results showing that inflation has come down below 6%, which is a very comfortable figure. And considering this figure, we are at a very higher expectation. The next article, discussing on the next article, the inflation is being the CPI inflation, that is consumer price inflation, is being analyzed. The consumer price inflation has two components. One is core inflation, which consists of non-food items, and the food inflation contains consumer price inflation. It has come down below the 6% level. This is a very comfortable margin. From the 6.75% level, it has come down to below 6% level. Now it is hovering at around 5.8 level. This is a very comfortable figure, which I can say, and it is a very normal one, which Reserve Bank of India in the fixed inflation targeting framework had always wanted. And what happens is that the next WPI inflation, which was once upon a time, some 2 months back, it was hovering at around 16%. Now it has come down to around 5%. How comfortable we are placed now. And now moving on to the business Hindu analysis, what we have is that the Arunachal Pradesh attack, that is Tawang attack of China, has been discussed. China is keeping the border areas, that is the border areas, very much busy in Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh. India was very comfortable earlier with the border areas. Now with the past 2 to 3 years, China has been very much aggressive on the border areas. It is keeping a very, very busy border. And what happens is that India has to take some action immediately to calm the China's progress on these border areas. The live border has to be brought down to a very peaceful level, is what is being pointed out. Then a very interesting article on making Chennai a $1 trillion economy is being given by C. Rangarajan and some host of writers. It is saying that Chennai or Tamil Nadu, if it has to reach the $1 trillion economy target, it has to grow at a real economy inflation, real growth rate of 9%, with considering 5% depreciation in rupee. It is being stated that with this 9% growth rate and the 5% real depreciation in the rupee, in Tamil Nadu can definitely achieve a target of $33,500 per capita income. And this is a very comfortable level. It is above the level of 33,000 $100 per capita income in a year, which is necessary for declaring a country as a developed country. So, if Tamil Nadu has to reach this target, it has to focus on agriculture and certain other sectors, which is being pointed out in this article. And the next article is discussing on to the United Nations framework on climate change, which was held at Sheikh A. Haram in Egypt. The focus should be, India's focus should be to reduce and to stick on to the net zero emissions by 2030, which India has always committed. The article also gives the examples of Jaipur, a very hot city in Rajasthan, and the example of Lucknow. These two cities examples have been given. What happens in Bhopal. What happens in Bhopal is that it has non-motorized vehicles. Not motorized vehicles numbers are very high in Bhopal, and this way it is the emissions, the CHG emissions are very less in Lucknow. And in Rajasthan, what happens is that in Jaipur, though it is a very hot city, but there are so many things which are there for arresting the climate change. So kindly go through this article. It's a very interesting one. Which is written in the backdrop of Sheikh A. Haram meeting of the United Nations framework on climate change. The next article is dealing with the solar energy as non-renewable energy. Solar energy, we know that it is a non-renewable energy, and this is one of the targets, along with the wind energy, is one of the targets to achieve the reduction in the carbon net emissions. So, sticking to the solar energy, the discussion is going on. India had targeted around 130,000 megawatts of solar energy by 2030. It is seeming that only 1 lakh megawatts has been achieved, and it's very, very much skeptical whether this target would be achieved or not. Hope you enjoyed this discussion of the Hindu and the Businessline analysis of December 15, 2022. Meet you tomorrow with another analysis. Till then, goodbye. Take care.